Hi, Matt Dolphin here with a quick show and tell of a campaign for my Keap partner certification. And what you're looking at here is a complete turnkey hiring system. This can be adapted for any type of business, but this happens to be for a music lesson business. And it's divided into four different parts, four different phases here. In the first section, we've got the application phase where the candidate fills out an application. Second phase is some qualification, and the great thing about this campaign is that it has some decision diamonds that filter out candidates based on their applications. So it really reduces the amount of phone calls that need to happen and interviews in later stages. The last part of that qualifying stage is a phone call by the receptionist, basically just to make sure that the person isn't a jerk and that they really are qualified to move forward with the next phase. If the receptionist thinks they're ready to move forward, they get tagged for an interview, and we do some prep before that interview. So this prep for the interview is this long list of sequences down here, and they are instrument specific because in this case the school needed to have different music materials sent to different types of musicians. So each one of these has a sequence with some materials that get sent to the candidate to prepare in advance of the interview. Then we've got an interview that happens, and then finally a decision is made whether to hire or hire on possibly as a substitute or decline for a number of reasons. So that's the basic campaign. But the Infusionsoft campaign is just one part of the system. In addition to that campaign, we've got some documentation for the different stages of this hiring process. There's a complete manual here for the receptionist to conduct that phone interview with a script, as well as frequently asked questions that they may be asked, everything they need to do to prep for the face-to-face interviews, including a printout sign that they can post on the door so those interviews aren't disturbed. We've got a similar thing for the managers that are conducting the face-to-face interviews. Everything in here as far as interview questions, how to conduct an interview. This is part of their training to conduct those interviews really well. It includes all the materials that those teachers would be asked to prepare and how to score those. And then finally, once a decision's made, we've got all of the scripts to make an offer, to follow up on those offers, to get the agreements for employment signed, all the paperwork, including all the federal documents, everything is included in here. So this really is a turnkey hiring system for a business that we can adapt for any business to save a lot of time. So let's take a look at what the results are before and after with this campaign. If I had one word to describe the hiring process in most businesses, it would be chaos. Small business just doesn't have the resources to run an effective hiring process if they don't implement automation. There's no HR director. Usually the owner is the HR director. And what that ends up looking like is a lot of disorganized papers, an inbox that's full of resumes and applications and inquiries that get buried. And there's a lot of reading of resumes and applications and stacking of those things to prioritize them. That's the before picture, and it's just an absolute mess. What we have afterwards is a very clear process. We've automated things, and it's a searchable database. So if you need to find a candidate from your pool, it's very easy to find someone at the last minute to get them onboarded. And then there's some automated filtering that's happening, so we're saving a lot of time with that filtering. But those are more intangible things, and it's hard to measure these. We don't have exact measurements for this particular business, but we do know that before, all of this was done by the director or the owner. It was taking over 2 hours per candidate to sort through things and interview. And the estimate is it was probably around $12,000 per year in that owner's time at a very minimum. Afterwards, we've got a delegatable process. We actually have more people involved, more eyeballs on the candidate, which I think is a plus. We've reduced the amount of time that it takes through automation to less than an hour per candidate. And we're probably, because we're delegating this to lower paid staff, we're saving ourselves a significant amount of money, probably around $8,000. So all in all, it ends up only costing us about $4,000 per year. So that's the amount saved with this campaign. I think it's a really valuable thing, not just for the money saved, but also for the peace of mind, for the clarity that it gives the hiring process. I'm super excited to present this to you. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks.